Is why it's so important to incorporate discipline. And there's only so much self-help books. There's only so much journaling, reading, and in nature hikes you can do before you got to do the work. The results you're looking for is in the work that you are avoiding. Discipline is an act of self-love. It's probably one of the highest forms of self-love. Operating in your gifts and your purpose is just the ultimate form of love. And you're neglecting yourself when you lack self-control. I got a mic now, so I mean business. Okay, there was a buzzing noise with my camera. I'm filming on my phone right now, so I don't know what that is. But we're in business now, all right? Hey guys, hello, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Havila, and if you're new here, take your coat off, stay a while, get comfortable. And if you're returning, what's up? I hope everyone's doing amazing. And thank you all for sharing your stories and your experiences on that last video of letting go of past versions of yourself. I'm so glad that it resonated with so many different people. And I'm back with another video. Let's just jump right on in because we got a lot to talk about and I got a lot to say. You might not be seeing the results that you're looking for because you lack discipline. And it's okay because we've all been there at one point in time or another. Me personally, I didn't start implementing discipline until this year. What is the discipline? Self-control. The ability to control oneself, especially by following rules or orders or by continue to work on something difficult. Majority of people avoid doing the work. They just want the finished result. The results you want are in the work that you're avoiding. And everybody has these dreams, goals, and visions, but they don't want to do the work. And when I make these videos, it's either because I'm going through it myself, personal experiences, or I see other people are going through. And I can see that this is a common denominator. A lot of people lack discipline. And discipline is also a form of self-love. And knowing that you are worthy and deserving of giving yourself this time, this development to get to where you want to be. And a lot of people like to contribute it to outside external factors and not take accountability. But once you take accountability, your life will change astronomically for the better. That's for sure. That's always the first step, accountability and awareness. But I realized while I was editing this video that I left out some key components, what it all comes down to, the heart of the matter. And normally with most videos that I edit, I always find that I have more things that I want to say and add in, but it was specifically important for this video because this is what I truly believe it revolves around. And if you don't understand this and digest this, none of it matters. And this is where you're staying stuck. And a lot of videos are like, work your ass off to the bone. And as much as I love a turned up video and it gets the people going, you really need to understand this. Life is hard. Life is difficult. Nobody is coming to save you. You are going to have to do uncomfortable things. Once you understand this, this is where discipline comes in. Doing uncomfortable things is where your comfort lies. Discipline is committing to yourself, committing to what you know is going to be good for you, even when you don't want to do it, and knowing that you are worthy and deserving to wake up happy, deserving to wake up fit and in a clean home. And nobody's coming to get your ass in the car to go to the gym. Nobody is coming to save you. But I think there is a level of compassion and gentleness that needs to be applied because we are all coming from or actively working through some type of trauma in one way or another. We all have issues. We all have baggage. One isn't worse than the other. Pain is relative. And I understood this at a very young age. I was in group homes, foster care. I was taken away, essentially alone my whole life since I was 15. And I'd never been in victim mode because at the end of the day, your circumstances are your circumstances. This is my life, though, and I'm going to live it and do as I please, right? It's nobody else's life but your own. And are you going to live it or are you not? And that is your decision. So once you understand whatever you come with, whatever your baggage is, accepting that, I forgot about that, acceptance as well. Once you accept it and aware of it, that's when you can start implementing everything else. I am a lover girl through and through, and I'm a tough cookie too. Don't play, because I've been through what I've been through. But I feel like I didn't speak about it enough in this video and what it comes down to, which is compassion, grace, and love, and loving yourself enough to do the work and reframing your mindset around the work. Knowing that if you do this work, it is enhancing your life. It is for the overall well-being of your life and for everybody else's life around you. I know so often we want to give to other people's lives and show up and people please, but that is doing a disservice to yourself and to other people. You can't take care of anybody if you're not taking care of yourself. So you need to take that inventory. It's okay to say no to some people so you can take care of yourself, so you can do what you need to do in this lifetime. This is your life at the end of the day. This is nobody else's life. And at some point, you're going to have to start showing up like your life depends on it. I don't know why people play about a life. The magnitude of it is insane. It's a life. Or don't show up. But you're never going to get around this. That's the bottom line, right? So understanding that this is what you come with, this is your baggage, work through that. Okay, this is the level of work that needs to be done, but reframing it, because it's never going to go away. And if you can look at it as a form and an act of love, then things get easier. And if you find joy, and if you're doing things you genuinely love to do, then it's easy. It's not really work now, is it? Make sure you have balance. It doesn't do anybody any good if you are burnt out. But I know there's so many varying degrees of discipline. Like when I first started my business, I was all in for the first year. I would stay up till 3 in the morning. So you know where you're at on the journey, what you need to do. But at some point, you can take your hands off, right? Depending on what thing that is that you're working towards. At some point, you'll be able to take your hands off a little bit, but you might need to be very hands-on in the meantime. And understanding that it's all work, but you reframe it and do things that you love, and it all flows. All right, let's get back into the video. Take what you will, as always, what resonates, and leave the rest. All right, let's go. It took me a long time to realize that I had no discipline. This was the first year that I started implementing discipline. This is the first year I never traveled anywhere. The first year I never left California. I didn't even go to Joshua Tree. I didn't even take a road trip. That is how rooted I was. And this is the most change and momentum I've ever seen in my life. These are the most downloads I've had. This is the closest I've ever been to God. There's just so many revelations. This is why I'm like, I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this. Is just the most consistent I've ever been, and I've seen astronomical results. And I feel like my discipline was like at a 40, maybe 45%. So that's why going into 2025, it needs to be taken up a notch. Discipline is an act of self-love. It's probably one of the highest forms of self-love. Operating in your gifts and your purpose is just the ultimate form of love. And you're neglecting yourself when you lack self-control. You are going against yourself when you are not implementing discipline in your routine. So this is why it is very important. If you know you lack discipline, you need to take accountability. It's a tough pill to swallow. I'm telling you, when I had that revelation, I said, ooh, people can pull me any which way. Left, right, go any which way. When I started my business, I still was just getting pulled in so many different directions. And I was like, what would it have looked like if I just tunnel vision, if I wasn't in a relationship, if I wasn't getting pulled here, if I wasn't on the phone here, if I wasn't staying up till, the crack of dawn talking about nonsense with people. There's nothing wrong with staying up to the crack of dawn if you're working on that thing. Depending on where you are in your journey, that's part of the journey. That's part of the work. A lot of people see the finished result and they want that. A lot of people want the dream house. A lot of people want that trip. A lot of people want that salary. A lot of people want the accolades. They just want that without realizing it's work. And I see this time and time again. I saw it with a friend and I said, oh, this is the problem. This is the issue. This is the common denominator. Even with family, you want these things, but you need to put in the reps and the hours. Nobody on this earth has just gone. No one is exempt from work. No one. No one. Now, I do believe miracles happen to people. I do believe people are blessed out of nowhere. I truly believe that, but I'm not talking about that. People fail to realize that things take time and there's steps. If you want to build a house, you need to conceptualize. You need to draw it out. You need to 3D render. You need designs. Then you need to hire contractors, builders, pick out, what frame you're going to do. There's so many steps. And everything you want, that house, is all in that planning and that work that you're avoiding. That's with everything. You want that body, but you don't want to commit to 6 months in the gym. That's where the body's lying. It's never the finished product. It is never the finished product. The magic lies in the journey. The magic lies in the process. That's what it is, especially going in with the new year. But I know the real new year is in, you can always start whenever. So you don't have to wait. You just need to start. And I really am adamant about people starting today. Like whenever you see this video, you need to start. And I pray that it just ignites a fire under you to start, because the moment you start implementing this stuff, the sooner you can get to where you're going, where you need to be. But you can't be afraid of the work. And I think people get so caught up in the work, but it's about the process. If you can fall in love with the process and showing up because it is a form of self-love and giving yourself that time and that devotion, you wouldn't look at it as something that's daunting. But if you've never tried it or implemented it, it's something that you are making up and avoiding just because. Now, the outcome is desirable. The finished product is desirable. But you won't attempt the work that it takes to obtain the desirable outcome because it's hard. So you're making the problem the work when it really is you. It's not the work, because the work's never going to go away. So then you're just like, I guess I just won't ever do it. I just, my dreams and my goals are just bloop, because it's just the work. And this is the thing I notice with other people and friends, and I hear them. I'm always encouraging people, like, just start, because you don't know. The moment you start, the moment you just devote time to yourself and to your dreams, just practice, things start shifting. Things start happening. I know it because I launched my business 5 years ago. And I remember I was talking about it for years, but it's like there's only so much you can talk about before you do it. Before you have to actively match it. You have to match the desire and the vision with the work, and then slowly work together until it comes into fruition. It's gonna happen. It's law. It has to happen. And God has put it in your heart for a reason, so it's bound to come into fruition. But you have to devote the time, show up and do the work. Keep the vision, keep your spirits high, no doubt. I want to make a video about self-doubt, because that was another thing. A lot of people psych themselves out and doubt themselves before even attempting. You ruling yourself out before even giving it a chance. You just ruling yourself out. And that's so heartbreaking to me, because why don't you think that you are deserving when you have it in your heart? Like, you have these dreams and visions in your heart, but because you don't want to do the work and show up, you're just like, it's not for me. And then a lot of people are like, well, you don't understand. It would be great if I had a camera. It'd be great if I lived in a warm tropical place. I would do that too. It would be great if I wasn't a woman in a man's world. It'd be great if prices weren't rising and inflation, blah, 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 all this stuff. But it's not real. It's not real. And I feel like the time right now, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And other people say, oh, you're overly optimistic. But why not you? Why not? You just won't do the work. You don't know, if you stay consistent with something, naturally results will happen. Once you stay consistent with something, naturally, just naturally, results and momentum will start to happen. And everything is different for everybody. But I heard Mr. Golden, and I love him so much. And he was talking about how people like to blame things on external factors. He said there's contributing factors and determining factors. I don't care if you're blue, white, curly hair, trans, they, them, him, he, she, we. There's contributing factors and there's determining factors. Contributing factors is everything outside of you. It's external. It might slow you down, he said. It might slow you down. Being a woman in a man's world might slow you down. Being a black man in America might slow you down. But there are certain things that we have to subconsciously reprogram. There are external factors, and then there's God's word and God's promises. Who you really are. So he said there's contributing and there's determining factors. Determining factors is everything inside of you. Your mindset, how you see yourself, what you believe, what you think you're capable of, which is why it's so important to not have that doubt, which is why it's so important to incorporate discipline. Because if you get everything lined up, you can't fail. You cannot fail. And there's only so much self-help books. There's only so much journaling, reading, and in nature hikes you can do before you got to do the work. The results you're looking for is in the work that you are avoiding. And I made another video about time and why there's no better time than now to start, because time is sped up so fast. I feel like we're in a vortex right now. There's something really special going on with the time right now. Everything's cut in half. So go watch that video too, but there's no better time than now to start. Just see, if you've never had discipline, would it hurt you to just see what a month looks like of saying no to certain things and focusing on the things that you've been wanting to do, to really doubling down and locking in? If you lack discipline, and you know if you do, and you got to be real with yourself, or if you've been struggling to be consistent with discipline, there's no better time than now to start, to really implement it and stick with it for 3 months, 6 months, to put off current pleasures for bigger rewards to come, to know that you are going to follow through with your intentions and your dreams and your goals and your desires. Once you start, I promise you, God will also show you things that allow you to keep going. Once you start showing up, you'll get some momentum. You start seeing the results, and then it just becomes part of your routine. This year, I started incorporating it, and I said that I've seen the most amazing results I've ever seen. I'm like, wow, what if I started this 3 years ago? Obviously, I started when I started, so there's no better time than now to start. It's never too late to start. But you deserve to give yourself that time, dedication, and focus. Having the willpower and the persistence to work through the hard stuff, go through the uncomfortable stuff. And along the way, other things are going to come up too. And you have to just be willing and know that you are strong enough to do the work. You are strong enough to do the work. And not just the actual physical work, but the mental work, the spiritual work, the emotional work, all of those things. And if you're watching this, you are ready. Don't psych yourself out. Rise to the occasion. You are deserving and worthy of giving yourself that time and devotion. All of these other things that are outside of you, all of these things that are happening, I promise you, they'll still be there in 6 months. They'll still be there. I've seen this in a few people recently, which is why I made this video. They lack discipline. They're saying one thing, but they're doing another thing. And it's so hard to put a hard stop. But even when you're doing other things, you're going out, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're hanging out with friends. It's all energy that's supposed to be going into your work. It's a misdirected energy. It's all over the place. Right now, I'm like, I don't want to do anything except what I'm supposed to be doing. I want to lock in. I said I was at 40% this year. I'm trying to go all the way in 2025. So everything that's happening is still going to be happening. People are going to be doing the same things that they've always been doing. And you have to be willing to do what other people won't. Many are called, few are chosen. And that's just the God honest truth. You can't build a business and be out. You can't build your dream body and be eating junk food. You know damn well that two things, polar opposites, they're not on the same vibe and the same frequency. You can't do both things. Oh, you need to double down even more. But you can't tell people who aren't ready to do it. So if you're watching this, I pray that you are ready. And you do take the chance on yourself. And you bet on yourself. And you just devote some time. Now that I've been on my entrepreneur journey for 5 years, and I started YouTube and social media and just being consistent, I just have so much knowledge and wisdom now that I just didn't have 5 years ago. Like year 5 is when all this stuff is coming to me, which is why I say when you devote yourself to something, so many other things unlock. So many other things. I'm going to challenge you because you are watching this video and we want to rise to our highest selves. Stick with it for a month and work on it maybe 1 or 2 hours a day. Maybe you can start with 2 weeks and devoting a certain amount of time a day. The best part about devoting yourself into something is once you start doing it, you want to do more of it. I'm telling you, just try it. Just try it and let me know. Delay instant gratification. Know that whatever you're doing right now is going to pay off 10 times more. People think that all these people are out that just have all these things that you want didn't go through a season of just being locked in, 6 months of being consistent, a year of being consistent, 3 to 5 years of being consistent. You have to lock in on whatever it is that you want to do to see the results that you are looking for. Don't psych yourself out with the work. Just stay consistent. Just know that you deserve that. You deserve that time for your dreams and for your goals. And it's not outside of you. Everything else is still going to be there. And you are still not going to be where you want to be. You are still not going to achieve those dreams that you want because you're not doing the work. Because you are avoiding this work. Stop avoiding it and rise to the occasion. But thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you guys so much love and encouragement, and I'm rooting for you. You are so very special. We need your gifts. We need you to show up. Okay? You don't get to just slide under the radar. We're not doing that anymore. Rise to the occasion. All right. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All right. Go watch my other videos. Go watch my hair tutorials. I did it myself. I need to take it out. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Show up. You deserve it. Give that to yourself. If there's anything that you could give to the world and contribute to the collective, is showing up for yourself. Showing up for your gifts. Owning your gifts. Owning your spirituality. Strengthening your faith. All of these things, which happens when you devote time and focus to yourself. That's the best gift you can give. And if you think you can't help, you're wrong. Because you're so, so special. All right. I love you. Bye.